In the U.S., violent crime is on the decline in general, but there are still 12 million violent crimes committed every year, and it's estimated that 1 out of 5 Americans become victims of crime. So what can we do to stay safe, or at least to try? Today, we're talking about safety tips that tap into your own inner voice and intuition. Please welcome the CEO of Total Protection Services International, Phrantceena Halres. How are you? It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Thanks
as
for
well.
coming. So I like things that build on our intuition, because everybody has that little voice that says, you know, maybe not go there, maybe do go here. So there really is something to that little voice?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It can save our lives.
Isn't that amazing?
If we just tune into it. It's the ability to perceive intuitively danger and possible threats in our threatscape.
It's hardwired into us as human beings, right?
We're born with it.
So sometimes I think we override that. You know, I'll look down a street, it looks dark, and I think, oh, don't be a wimp, keep going. And I shouldn't do that, right? I should listen to that original.
Absolutely. We have it, and we have those voices inside of us, as you said, walking down the street, and it'll give us a little warning about a potential threat or danger, and oftentimes we are so busy with our lifestyles that we just, oh, that's nothing. Just like Boston, the cab driver that actually carried the terrorists to the event.
Thought something was wrong.
Well, I don't know that he did. He may have, but he just blew it off. So when he got out of the taxi and actually reached for the duffel bag, the black bag, that carried the bomb, he held it in his hands. Had his sixth sense been developed appropriately, he would have sensed something through the behavior, caused an altercation on the spot that may have delayed the time where the bomb wouldn't have gone off.
So you mentioned something really interesting, developing that sixth sense, and I'm really interested in this because there was a bit of news, I may not be getting this exactly right, but a doctor who spoke about asking women when they had something suspicious on their mammogram if they thought they had cancer or not, and people were amazingly accurate in their hunches, which I thought was just dramatic kind of news. So if you've got that, but you don't really depend on it a lot, how do you develop it?
Well, I think we have to all get at the kitchen table, at the family, at home, at a gathering place of a collective consciousness, coming together for a common cause. And we have a family that we're working with right now, with children, professional careers. So around that kitchen table, they're beginning to have a real conversation without the cell phones, without the TVs on, a real conversation with the children. What are you experiencing with bullying in school? So children aren't accustomed to parents paying attention. They usually are required to go to the room, your Game Boys. So having that conversation has been rewarding in understanding what our kids are experiencing in schools.
It's really healthy for kids to be affirmed to trust their antenna, yeah?
Yes. When a kid is confirmed or affirmed or empowered by their parents, grandparents, love in the family, when they step out into that school, and we know what happened at Sandy Hook and bullying, they're empowered. They become the leader. So their senses are on high alert because they've come from a home that's empowered them. So they become the leader to the others in the school. And it's a development of that conversation. What did you experience?
Right.
Asking those questions.
Early, you can build on that a little bit. I understand.
Asking
that
questions.
That makes sense. And you know, trusting yourself, trusting that what you're feeling is appropriate, and then acting on it. Because I was interested. There've been lots of news stories about this where people have seen suspicious things, but they didn't say anything, and sort of trying to remind ourselves. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, say something, and that has to do with trusting your intuition. So we don't want to be embarrassed, right? You know, we don't want to say, I saw something weird and then it's nothing, but how much better to do that than to not say anything and have a tragedy?
Absolutely. We're so free. We're a free society. America is a beautiful place. We have a heritage here that's like none other. That's why all of the terrorists or foreigners are coming here. So we have to just be a little bit more cognizant of what's going on around us, being alert without giving up our personal freedoms.
And pay attention beyond our phones.
Absolutely.
I'm so guilty of that. I am. I got off Words with Friends. Can you believe that? I broke my addiction just so I'd pay more attention to life. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to put more tips on our website, and we really appreciate it, along with the link to Total Protection Services Global. We're down to the final 6 in the boys competition, and up next, Brooke Fox and I recap a real shocker last night and try to make predictions, about what's next. We'll be back in a jiff.